Good afternoon. I'm trying to also go live on Instagram, so bear with me. Right, I am now officially live by the looks of it on Instagram too. So, good afternoon. So I am a bit later today than anticipated in terms of going live, and I wanted to talk to you about whether you believe that there is still humanity, because I was having an interesting conversation recently, and the general consensus of this particular person was that most people weren't particularly pleasant people, and that you have to protect yourself, and effectively there's no real trust there in the world. And I really wanted to hear your perspectives in terms of whether you believe that in fact there is trust or not, because I tell you what, it's an interesting one, because I think you're either one of two people. You're either somebody who probably trusts fairly easily and you take people on face value, or you don't trust easily at all and you think everybody is out to get you and is a fraud. There are probably a few that are in the middle, but I would imagine that most people are either end. And I would describe myself as very much being the type that that believes that I trust in humanity. I believe about being of service. I believe that, I'm somebody who wears my heart on my sleeve. What you see with me is what you get. I'm very transparent. I probably trust too easily. I genuinely take people at face value. So I would love to hear in the comments whether people still believe in humanity, or whether you're one of these people who doesn't trust anything that anyone says, always making sure that you protect yourself. Please do share, because I genuinely, I'm one of these people who I was genuinely shocked by this person's approach. And it all came from a conversation that was completely unwork related, but it ties into business, because I think ultimately when you are in business, there has got to be an element of trust. Otherwise, how can you be of service? How can you actually deliver what you need to deliver to your clients? So yeah, I really want to hear what the audience perspective is on this, because I think it's a really valuable thing, because in terms of when you're talking to prospects, when you are trying to get them over the line, do you trust what they tell you, or do you always take it with a pinch of salt? Do you believe in actions speak louder than words? Tell me what you think, because I'm really of a person who, yes, I do believe in the principle actions speak louder than words, because often, for example, you'll have people, and I've had this many a time, where I've got a prospect who've said, yes, we really want to work with you. Great. You send out the contract, you send out the invoice, and then you get complete radio silence, and you follow up and you follow up and you follow up and you follow up, and you get nowhere. Right. So I do think actions speak louder than words. And I am very much a case of, for example, in the business world, when somebody says they want to work with you, until the money lands in the bank, I kind of take it with a pinch of salt. But I do think that generally, in terms of humanity and in terms of communication and talking to other people, that I trust what people say. Now, I'm not saying that I'm completely naive, because I think sometimes it is really obvious that somebody is, talking a load of crap, basically. But I think it's about having a bit of common sense, and it's about kind of looking at the signs and the telltales and the body language, etc., etc. But I want to believe that actually the world is still full of great people who do genuinely care about others. I want to believe that there is more good in the world than there is bad, that there is more good people than there is bad. Now, don't get me wrong, that there are people, I'm not naive to think that everybody is amazing and wonderful, etc., because they're not. I think there is a lot of bad stuff out there, but I think we see and hear more of it now because of the joys of social media and the internet and all of that. And I suspect it was all happening way before the internet even existed. So yeah, I just wanted to really kind of get your perspective. I think this is kind of quite a prudent thing, bearing in mind that we have in the UK, we've got the election coming up next week. And often, politicians in particular are the ones where a lot of people don't have any faith in whatsoever. So, yeah, I think it's a kind of really prudent time to be talking about, do we believe in humanity? Do we believe that good always outweighs the evil and all of that kind of thing? Do you think that there are more good people than bad people? Do you think that there are more people where you can be that are more of service and genuinely want to help and genuinely care, or are they all about self-interest? And I think there is a lot of people out there that is all about self-interest. There is a heck of a lot of people in the business world. There's a heck of a lot of people even in the business coaching world that, to me, it's about them and it's not about you, the audience, the target audience, and all of that side of things. Whereas for me, that's where I genuinely want to make a difference. I became a lawyer originally because I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to help people. And I think, there is a quote that I think is quite an interesting one. And that says, not everyone has the same heart as you. And I think that is true in the fact that there are a lot of us that do wear our heart on our sleeve, that do, as I say, believe in humanity, believe in the good of people, but not everybody does. And I think it's about using a bit of common sense to kind of establish, are these people genuine? Are they not genuine? And this is where, for example, in the business world, when you are landing new clients, the qualifying process is absolutely imperative. And you're not going to get it right 100% of the time. There are going to be mistakes. There are going to be some people who slip through the net who aren't your ideal client, who aren't really the type of people you necessarily want to work with. They're not, they don't work. They're not on your wavelength in terms of integrity, etc. But if you have things like your ideal client lounge, and you have things like what I call my ABCD characteristics, and you have that in mind, I think they're just some of the things that can help you ensure that you are working with the right type of people, and the people that you can trust, who do work with honesty and integrity and transparency. So please do share your comments after the live has finished. I would love to hear them. But thank you very much for listening. If, of course, you would like to have a chat in terms of identifying something like your ideal client and your ABCD characteristics, then please do just literally put in the comments ideal client, and we can have a conversation. We can potentially do a power hour coaching session that's just literally on that one issue, but let's have a chat. So put in the comments ideal client and we can go from there. So thank you very much all for listening, and I hope you've got some value. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments, and I will see you all very soon.